So, do you have too many interests to pick a niche? Are you struggling with your niche? Well, maybe you're like me. I had so many interests when I started my YouTube channel. It was a little hard to figure out what my niche was going to be. So, maybe you're a polymath. A polymath is someone who has varied and many interests. So I've learned you don't have to give up all of your passion and all of your interests to get on YouTube and niche down like so many people suggest. There's a better way, a polymath way, the polymath method. Polymath, these are people, poly means many, math means numerical number. We have many and varied interests. This is old Mike, old me, a living better. I started my YouTube channel at 80 years old. Man, I've got so many interests, you wouldn't believe it. I was a paper boy, a cook, a truck driver, a liquor store clerk, a probation officer, security guard, dishwasher, minister, business owner, online community manager, salesman, ghostwriter, radio announcer, house painter, dock worker, machinist. I was in the U.S. Marine Corps. I've been a business and personal coach, a counselor, RV and travel consultant, and now a YouTube creator. Along the way, I've developed a lot of skills and interests. I'm a singer songwriter. I'm a guitarist, a longboard surfer, a golfer, a writer, a speaker, a custom knife collector, a Bible collector, a fountain pen collector, a pen and ink artist, and a poet. Plus, I like to read. So it does make sense to niche down if you are doing a business and you're trying to make money off of that business. There's a lot of channels that I follow, they've niched down into a particular business or product or something that they're selling, online courses, or they're selling a product. So that kind of a channel makes sense to niche down, because when you niche down, you have better opportunities to monetize and sell the products and services that you have. But for the rest of us, I don't think that makes a lot of sense. To me, it makes more sense to niche up than it does to niche down. Steve Thompson, my friend Stephen Thompson, he had an email out today, I think it was actually, and and I'll leave a link to Steve's channel in the description. You go check it out, get on his email list. He said that here's the truth: you don't have to put yourself in a box. Instead, you become the niche. Second thing he said that I really liked, even maybe more than that one. And that is, at the end of the day, humans are your logarithm. Why is that important? Because so many gurus and so many content creators talk about the logarithm. We go crazy over the logarithm. We're chasing the logarithm. Well, that's not, in the long run, that's not going to work. It may work for some, but it's not going to work for many of us. The problem is we live in a society that is so over specialized. Probably the example that I always use is the medical industrial complex. Recently, I visited a member of my church that was having problems with their medical care and whatever. So I sat down and I asked him, I said, well, what are your how many doctors do you have? I made a list of them. He has a primary doctor, an endocrinologist, a pain doctor, a cardiologist, a urologist, a psychiatrist, and an orthopedic doctor. The problem is, he said, none of them talk to each other. I get medicines from different ones, and then some of the medicines I get, the other one says I can't take, and it's a huge mess. There's no synergy between all of those different specializations. And there's the same problem in YouTube when you niche down so low, you narrow what it is you can talk about and share about. So in this video, I want to share with you 5 things you need to know to master a polymath method to grow your niche. That's what I did, okay? Point number 1, mindset before method. Mindset before method. I think if you're a polymath, if you have a lot of passions and a lot of different interests, your mindset has to be one of growth. You don't want to zero in on one particular topic and put all of your effort into one particular topic because that's not who you are. But I think the mindset has to be one of long-term growth. You see all of these videos on YouTube where I got monetized in 9 weeks, which I did, and I'm guilty of producing a video like that, but that's unusual. It takes most people 6 months to a year to get monetized. Yeah, I was one of those guys that got fortunate with a viral video, but not everybody gets a viral video. Now, when I started my YouTube channel, I had a 5-year goal. That's right. I started my channel at 80 years old and I had a 5-year plan. 5 years. 85. I'm 81 now. But my mindset was long-term growth. I never expected to have the success that I have now, and part of that success, I think, was because I set the benchmark for growth at a low level. I didn't set really lofty goals. I had a 1-year goal, I had a 5-year goal, a 6-month goal, and I had achievable steps within that. Here's the other thing, you don't have to choose one thing forever as your niche. I started my niche, many of you know this, my very first YouTube video was, "If you ain't dead, you ain't done," which is my theme, and I have it on all of my stickers and merch and all that stuff, and, I was gonna be, sharing mostly with seniors. People that are 70 to 90 years old. If you ain't dead, you ain't done. You can keep doing this. You can get on YouTube. You can be a success. You can overcome the problems in your life. But because of that viral video that I made, which was how to start a YouTube channel at 80, all of a sudden I got all these people wanting me to help them start their YouTube channel, and I didn't know what I was doing. I was just following others. That's all I was doing. But all of a sudden, my niche began to expand and grow. But besides sage and wisdom topics, all of a sudden, I'm talking about topics related to YouTube. So, what's my point? My point is your niche can grow with you. And then you can adapt as your viewers ask questions and they want more information about something. Flow with it. You can be free to experiment. The idea is, though, that your mindset has to be not a quick growth, not, if you're niching down for a business, yeah, you want to get monetized, you want to start making money, especially if you're replacing a full-time salary. But if you're like me, I'm only doing this part-time, one video a week, if I'm lucky. So I got about 60 videos and I've been on YouTube for about a year. So your niche isn't a prison, it's a playground. I love that quote. I don't know where I got it from. Your niche is not a prison. Don't be imprisoned by a narrow box. Get out of the box. That was Stephen Thompson was talking about in his email. Don't get boxed in. Don't do that. Your niche, your YouTube channel is a playground. If videos fail, great. I think it was Thomas Edison that said, it took him 10,000 attempts to discover the light bulb or whatever it was. Yeah, it was a light bulb. But he said, I didn't have 10,000 failures. I just found out 10,000 ways that don't work. I love that attitude for doing a YouTube channel. Point number 2, curiosity over perfection. Oh, my word. So many people are held back from getting on starting their YouTube channel because they don't feel like they're good enough, I can't speak enough, I'm a terrible communicator. And we're plagued with this perfectionistic because we're comparing ourselves to people that are 5 and 10 years in front of us. Wow, don't do that. Don't compare yourself to somebody that's been on YouTube for a year or 2 or 3 and you're just starting out. Every YouTube creator starts out pretty poorly, right? So, curiosity over perfection. Polymaths have a great sense of curiosity. Curiosity is the engine of our creativity, it's the engine of what we do. Instead of forcing a single niche, instead ask what am I most curious to explore with others right now? If you don't have a lot of feedback from an audience, you can go through all the trends, you can search all of the yeah, that's the other thing, man. People, if you're searching trends and you're trying to figure out what's working and you're only interested in getting clicks and monetized, you can go down that path. You know, I've got vidIQ and these programs that give you all the trends and whatever, and you go to websites and get trends and test this and that. That's not for me. I have a heart and a passion for a lot of things. I have a passion for seniors, a passion for you that you're listening to this video right now. So if I try to get all of those passions into one particular thing, then I lose the aspect of my own curiosity to search out new things, to explore other things, and to not fear failure. So, point three is connection over specialization. I already told you the downfall of the medical industrial complex and specialization. My desire was not to specialize in a particular thing. My heart and passion for my channel, Old Me Living Better, was helping seniors in the fourth quarter of their life with health issues, mobility issues, family, YouTube, sage wisdom, storytelling, relationship, adapting, and overcoming. Now, here's the truth about those of us that are polymaths. The best niches often sit at the intersection of our passions. Let me say that again. The best niche often sits at the intersection of our passions. Gardening and storytelling. Diane's Garden. I'll leave a link to her channel in the description. She's a great storyteller, has a wonderful gardening channel. Mars Fiction Shop, he's another one. I'll leave a link to his channel. These are people that combine a wide range of interests in storytelling and sharing with what they're doing. Woodworking in history, crafting the past. Have another friend of mine who walks around and does bridges. I'll leave a link to his channel below. I can't think of the name of it right now, but he walks through the city. He shares history. So let's say you really love history, but you can incorporate storytelling into that, and you can do a vlog, and you can walk around and do different things. Health and humor. Laugh and live well. Man, there's a lot of channels about old people and humor. So your niche isn't one thing, it's where your unique mix of things fit. Let me say that again. That's really important. Your niche is not one thing. That's the problem with niching down. And much of what we hear about niching on YouTube is the idea there's one thing you got to do, and that's I didn't grow up that way. The last time I was forced into one thing, I think when I graduated high school, I took a test and they said, "What do you want to be when you graduate?" I didn't have a clue. Now, when I was 6 years old, I wanted to be a fireman. That's the only time I really understood what I wanted to do. But I didn't become a fireman, right? You know, when we're younger, it's easier to figure out these things. But as we grow older and we gain experience and knowledge and learning and whatever. So your niche is never going to be one thing. Now, you may have a topic you're going to center on, but your niche, if you are your niche, and that's what my belief is, if you are your niche, then who you are will come out of whatever topic you're talking about. Every topic on my channel that I talk about, and it's a wide range of things, who I am, my personality comes out of that. And you'll see that if you watch many of my videos. Your niche isn't one thing, it's where your unique mix of things meet. Life experiences, stories, successes, defeat, how you learned a certain tool, or you learned how to do something. You share all of that, but it's all of that together It's not niching down, it's niching up. Point number four is systems over goals. Now, productivity experts agree that goals are good. Man, I've set a lot of goals in my life, but they can also be a dead end street. I can't tell you the many goals that I've set that I never accomplished those goals. A goal is one thing, and I think you have to start with a goal, but you need to have a system. It's more important the system. So if I have a goal of losing weight, my system may be at 7 o'clock every morning. I'm going to go into my living room here, and I'm going to list some barbells, or I'm going to list some kettlebells. I'm going to do something that's going to be my system that will get me to my goal. So don't wait to find the perfect niche. Find a system and start now. My system was real simple. I figured out that I could not do, I mean, if I didn't want to do YouTube full time, didn't have to replace my income. I'm semi-retired, full-time caregiver for my wife, pastor a church, doing YouTube. I don't have time. I don't have the financial need for one thing. Yeah, I'm making some money, not a lot, but it's nice. But that never was my goal. So when I set up my system early on, I determined I was going to do it part time. I was not going to put more than one video a week pressure on my head. And I've stuck with that now for over 1 year. So as a polymath, sometimes we are tempted to do too many things at one time. I love the book, Do One Thing. I'll leave a link to that in the description. It's a terrific book. Do one thing. Uh, the author of the book goes through a series of questions that help you isolate the one thing you need to do at a time. Now, you may have a lot of different interests in a lot of different things and goals, but you only get them incrementally, one step at a time. So it's so important as a YouTube creator that in your niche, you settle on a system and try to stick to that system. Point number five, the last point, creation over knowledge. I love this. I mentioned to you that I'm a singer-songwriter. I started a folk group back in the 60s. We traveled all over Southern California playing in coffee houses. That was a great time in my life. I really loved that. Now, I didn't become a famous folk singer. Now, I still play the guitar. I got my guitar in a couple of my videos. I still write poetry. I still write some songs. I love pen and ink drawing. I've got a lot of these different things that are a part of my personality, my creative personality. So here's the point I want to make here is polymaths just don't know things, they create. I sat down to play the guitar. My goal was to play the guitar. The system was to practice half an hour a day every day for a couple of years. And I achieved that goal. But it wouldn't have been good enough for who I was and what I wanted to do if I just sat in my living room and played for myself. No, I sang in the choir at Long Beach City College, did a few other things, and developed relationships with some other musicians, and we formed our little folk band, and around Southern California, we drove singing in coffee shops. In other words, so I had a goal, I had a system, and then as I began to grow in knowledge, I put that system into action and used my creativity in writing songs, singing, and going on the road. So in your YouTube channel as a polymath, you want to share your wisdom. You want to share your stories. You want to share your passions. Storytelling is terrific. I have a link in the description below to Darren Strauss's school group on storytelling. I mean, every other video, it seems like, that's popping up on my feed anyway is about storytelling is the way to grow your business, grow your channel, do that. But there's a difference between telling a story. I could sit here and tell stories until I'm blue in the face, but it's a storytelling method. There's a storytelling method within your YouTube channel and the videos that you create. So the key is for the polymath to not get hung up on the knowledge and the study, but step into creation. Most polymaths are very creative. So the polymath method isn't about limiting yourself. It's about focusing on your curiosity, connecting your different and varied interests. It's about creating consistency. That's how you'll find your niche on YouTube. You don't have to define your niche before you start because your niche is you. It'll come out over time. So if you've been trying to niche down, take a break, step back. Follow my friend Steven's advice, and that is that you are your niche and people are your logarithm. Take a step back, take a deep breath, niche up. Embrace all the various passions and interests that you have. Incorporate that into your YouTube channel. Yeah, the YouTube algorithm may get confused if you're doing this topic one day and another topic another day and a vlog one day and something else the next day. But you know what? Again, I like what Steve says. People are your logarithm. I think it was Chris Doe that said, they may come back for your content, but if they fall in love with you, they'll keep coming back to your channel. Now, I hope today that you got encouraged by this. If you've been frustrated with your niche, then take a step back, take a deep breath, embrace that you are a polymath. Own it, live it, go for it. This is old Mike, old me, living better. If you ain't dead, you ain't done. And I'm not dead, and I'm not done. And neither are you. Have a great day.